Hey guys, welcome into Nightcap with RhinoMan. I'm your host, Tom, aka RhinoMan. And tonight's show, you either love him or you hate him, but either way, you're watching. We're going to find out about him in a few minutes. You see the banner across the top, you know, that's who he is. But first, as I always do, I got 3 questions for you. First question, thinking about having a YouTube channel, do you think that basically good publicity or bad publicity is still good for your channel? Let me know. I want to know in the comments. Let me know. Question number 2. Um, why are you on YouTube? If you're thinking about having a channel, answer this question. Why are you on YouTube? Are you on YouTube to make money? Are you on YouTube to help somebody? Are you on YouTube just because you enjoy being on YouTube and producing videos? If you are, you have to think about it this way. For each one of those scenarios, there's a different way to think about your YouTube channel. If you're just in it for the fun and to have a good time, then there's no reason for you to worry about subs, hours, any of that. Just keep producing content and put it out there. That's what it's about. So this question is basically for channels out there, regardless of what niche you're in. When you started, or it could be for anybody. When you started, did you have thick skin? I know a lot of YouTubers out there that have insecurities, that are scared to do certain things because they're scared of the feedback that they're going to get from somebody else. Hey, it's a true thing. And if you did have thin skin when you first started, how long did it take you to develop that skin? Need to know. Guys, you see the banner going across the top? I would like to take the time to recognize a few new subscribers to the channel. Ninny, Pop Slot, thank you for coming in. Rod Slot Videos, thank you for joining. Roddy MC, thank you for joining. Austin Almost, hey, thank you for joining. Lucky Beach Slots, really appreciate it. And Married with Slots, thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Hey guys, who's in the chat? I see Lucky Obsession joined early. Monic, I'm gonna butcher this. You gotta excuse me. Dravaka. Hopefully I said it, pronounced it right. If I didn't, hit me in the comment with the thumbs down. You didn't pronounce my name right. I appreciate it. I know I'm bad at that. Rockin' Rocco Slots. Connie, thank you for coming in. Matt's Gambling Slots, thank you. SB Dreaming, thank you for coming in. Yoshi Slots, Tony Tooch, thank you for coming in. Love it. I see a lot of new names here I'm not familiar with, but hey, I love it. Oh, yes, Slots, thank you for coming in, brother. Really appreciate it. TG Lip 24, thank you for coming in. Love it. Easy Life and Appropriate Attorney at Law have joined. Thank you for that. Let's see. Goldie One, El Wedo Slots, Sister Yoshi. That's my manager right there. Let's see who else we got. I saw Chumba Queen in the house. Warren, Simi Scratch and Ernie. Wow, I'm just going down the line. Shauna Ray, thank you for coming in. Wow, there's so many people in here. 108 people so far. CL Slot 6. Wow, this is for the guest, I'm sure. Dalen Brown, thank you for coming in. Slasa Bin. James Krupler, thank you. Gamblers Unknown, Little Dutchie, thank you. Wow. Delana Brown, thank you for coming in. Couple of slots, appreciate it. Trendy Trolling Slots. Well, I could do this all night, but you know what, guys? I'm going to get the guest in here and have him introduce himself, and then we'll get this show on the road. We'll kick it off. Let me get him on the stream. Whoa, where'd he go? There we go.
Well, thanks for having me. Have a good night. No, just kidding.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in. Introduce yourself. If anybody doesn't know who you are, please let them know.
My name is Easy. I have a small little channel on YouTube, and I post slot videos, and I do some other interesting things.
Well, quite a few interesting things. We're going to take this first part just to get to know you a little bit better before we dive into gambling, your channel, and a few other fun things. So where do you live?
New York.
New York. Okay. Closest casinos to you in New York?
There's a casino like 20 minutes away, but it's a Class 2 casino, and I don't gamble at Class 2 casinos, so it doesn't even exist to me. So the closest casinos would be in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Connecticut. They're all roughly about 2 hours to 2.5 hours away.
Okay, when you say Class 2, I know a lot of people don't know exactly what a Class 2 is. Can you explain that a little bit?
So usually like the Class 2 in New York, they're run by a server. They're not bingo slots like other Class 2s, but all the machines are hooked up to a central terminal, and the terminal predicts, or not predicts, it sends the outcome of the win to the slot machine. So everything is predetermined once you hit that spin button. Even your bonuses, picking 6 spins or 8 spins, you're going to get the same result. And I just don't find that fun or interesting, so I don't patronize those casinos.
Fantastic. I had no idea. So that was directly for me. What do you do for work outside of YouTube, if you don't mind sharing?
I do a lot of things. I have my hands in many different things, the stock market, real estate, and I also run Easy Life Incorporated.
Okay, Easy Life Incorporated, and we'll dive into that in a minute. Do you have any family in New York with you? Brothers, sisters?
I'm
No.
an only child. When God
Okay.
made me, He broke the mold, and I couldn't have any siblings, or maybe I killed them. I don't know.
He said no more, no more. Only one easy can exist at a time.
That's all this earth needs is just me.
Okay. What about a significant other, partner?
No, never.
Never.
Not interested.
No, no fling things. Just
Oh, there's always flings. There'll be a fling tonight, but not nothing steady.
okay. Okay. Um, let's see.
I didn't throw you off with that one, did I?
No, no, well, I didn't know if you had. I didn't know if you had a significant other or not. So I was.
No. I'm saying like I didn't know if the the fling tonight threw you off. Like someone could be knocking on the door soon, and we'll have to end this. You never know.
Okay. Um, no, that didn't throw me off at all.
Just checking.
Where'd you grow up?
New York. I'm born and raised.
Okay. Born and raised. Never lived outside of New York in your life?
Nope. Never.
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to 8 different high schools.
Public, private?
Both. I was a very bad girl in high school, and I got kicked out of several. And I bounced around.
So what was that like? You say you got kicked out of a lot of schools. What were the issues behind some of that?
Just not going, cursing out teachers. I was a very, very bad child. I still am a bad child. So
was it the young T that was coming out back in high school?
Back then at 13 years old, I was reading teachers for filth. Sometimes they just need to get told how it is, and they didn't like to hear it.
Okay. Do you have any hidden talents?
I do, but we would get your channel shut down if I showed some of my hidden talents.
Okay, we'll leave the hidden talents for later. No hidden talents right now. Okay, tell us about your gambling background. When did you start gambling?
Probably at like 14 or 15. Scratch off started it, and gambling with my parents, and going on cruises, and going to Puerto Rico because you were able to gamble in Puerto Rico at 18, and it just spiraled from there.
Okay. So since you were an only child, did you go on many trips with your parents to casinos?
Yes, a lot. I pretty much grew up in Atlantic City. My parents were probably in Atlantic City 2 to 4 times a month on the weekends. and I was always with them probably until about 16. Then I stopped going, and I would stay home and then throw house parties. But that's a whole nother issue. When they, when the cat's away, the mice will play.
That's
So
probably where you developed your talent too.
exactly, you got it. Now you're figuring it out. So I grew up in casinos, and we did lots of cruises, family cruises, gambling on the cruises. That's where I hit my first jackpot ever on a cruise ship. And I've been, once I turned 21, I've been gambling legal since.
Okay. Where now is your favorite spot to gamble at?
Um, it will always, probably Mohegan Sun in Connecticut will always be my favorite, just because of the property and the treatment that they give, and the hotel and the restaurants. It's just it's like the Wizard of Oz there. It's just outrageous.
Okay. So you say treatment and the hotel. I've never been there. So describe one. I'm sure you probably get free rooms and all of that. And we'll talk about that in a minute because you've had quite a few trips to the casinos lately. Um, what kind of treatment do they give you?
Just beautiful rooms. The rooms are beautiful there. The restaurants, if you want a limo there, not that I've ever taken one, but they will give you a limo. The extra free play, and all the meals that they pick up, and you could use your comp dollars at all the stores that they have there, and you can buy a candle, or you could buy a Louis Vuitton wallet if you wanted to at some of
Okay.
the stores that they have there. So, it's just, I feel like you get a lot of bang for your buck there,
Okay.
and I like it.
Okay. I saw a couple people come in. Cougs Rule 54, thank you for coming in. Robert Stevenson, thank you for coming in. Cheryl S., thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Slow Pokey Slots, thank you for coming in. TG Lip 24, she said Mohegan is nice. Good size casino, easy walking. And she mentioned that it's no longer smoking at the casino.
Which is why I stopped going there, until, if they never bring back smoking, then I'll probably won't go back there. But I do smoke, and I want to gamble and smoke, so that's why I have been parked in Atlantic City.
Okay. Hey, James Spitzer, Cash Out. Thank you for coming in. So you've been parked out at Kansas City because they don't smoke. Right after
Atlantic
COVID,
City.
Atlantic. Wow. Right after COVID, I noticed a lot of the casinos have changed the rules around smoking. Yamava's a non-smoking casino now. They don't allow you to smoke while you're playing. There's a casino out here, Verona, that is not only non-smoking, but you can't get a drink there. So I'm never visiting that place for sure. Um, but they say it does hit quite often. So that will stand with you. You won't go back there
Yeah,
unless.
and Atlantic City's starting to rally to go non-smoking, and if they go non-smoking, then I will move my business to the state of Pennsylvania that still allows it.
Okay.
And just like people that like to drink and gamble, if their casinos didn't offer beverages, they would go somewhere else. So I'm gonna go where I'm comfortable and where I enjoy myself.
Okay. I see a couple more people come in. I see Real Twinning Slots. I see Filthy Slot Channel. He says, hi, easy. Let's see. GC Slots says, hey, Rhino Man. Cougs Rule, Chris and Lou Slots, Chumba Queen. Wow, this is going kind of fast for me. I'm not used to this. I'm used to my 20 plus people that are in the room. I could follow the chat a little bit easier, but you know how that goes. So I agree with you. I prefer a smoking casino that has alcohol. You could enjoy yourself and enjoy your thing. What is your favorite slot to play?
It changes. For the past couple of months, or maybe even over a year, it's been Dancing Drums Explosion.
Okay.
Top Dollar will always be special to me and will always be one of my favorites. Double Top Dollar. I only play double. But yeah, probably right now, if you ask me what my favorite is, I would say Dancing Drums Explosion.
Okay. Dancing Drums Explosion. I did see that you just posted a video today of that. That
I
was
did.
pretty awesome. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Guys, if you haven't had a chance to check it, go over to his channel and check it out after the interview, please. I would appreciate that. What is your biggest winning session?
God, it's tough because I could say my biggest jackpot ever, but then I could also say, I had a bunch of smaller hits that equaled something larger than that. Probably back in October, I just went, it was Halloween weekend, and it was a pretty big weekend with nonstop winning. It was one of those trips that I'm sure that people know when I would say everything you touch turned to gold. It was just one of those trips, and I could do no wrong. And it was a big trip. And then 2 months later, I hit one hit for $100,000. But
Wow.
it still wasn't as big. I didn't leave with the 100,000 because it was on the first night. But the trip in October was probably one of the biggest. And then there's been a few others.
Okay. I love those sessions that start like that. But let us market you wants to know, what are you drinking?
Dr. Pepper.
Okay. Now that brings me to another question. When you gamble, do you drink?
I'm not a big drinker to begin with. I have enough vices as it is. So
Okay.
I usually don't drink in my everyday life. So no, I don't really gamble and drink. Maybe one or two drinks
Okay.
with dinner or something, but I'm not really a drinker.
I'm total opposite. When I go to the casino, I go to the casino for all of my vices: drinking, smoking, gambling, you name it. That's where you could find me. That's why I started doing these interviews, because it makes me feel like I'm at the casino. So
Okay, fair enough.
having a drink, enjoying it. Let's follow that biggest win up with the biggest loss.
My biggest loss was probably my 21st birthday in Vegas. I went with a lot of money.
Okay.
And then I ran out of it and I got more. And then I learned about opening up lines of credit at the casino, and I blew that. And then I did some other bad things and opened up another line of credit. So that was probably my 21st birthday was probably my biggest ever, which was just nice to start, my legal gambling journey with, a six-figure loss.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So at the time you had that six-figure loss, what did your parents say about that? You're 21. Were you still living at home? Were you out?
I was not living at home, but I did need to come to my parents to tell them what I did, because at 21 I didn't have the means to pay back those markers at the casino, and it took a lot of finesse and a lot of fake tears, but ultimately in the end it was taken care of as a 21st birthday present.
So I see Warren in here says easy spilling his own tea. True story, Warren. Let's see. We've all had line of credit at Yamava that we do not touch. Real Twinning Slot says, you know what? I think if you're going to the casino and you're going with the budget, I think everybody that's probably in this chat and then some has dipped in over their budget at one point or another. You just happen to do it at a younger age. Have you taken away lessons from that?
No, not at all.
Not,
I would do it again tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Hey, my kind of guy right there.
I will say this. I've gambled with a budget and I've gambled without a budget. And it is so much more fun to gamble without a budget.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. Let's see. NES is coming in with NES slots is coming in with a 4.99 super chat that says, "I whoa, where did it go? I got a six pack. At, I got six pack as a 21st birthday present, not a six figure income or not a six figure debt.
It wasn't
So
supposed. It wasn't supposed to be. I got in a lot of trouble.
did you? And you obviously worked your way out of it.
Yeah, I did.
So it wasn't anything that killed you. Now, do you think because you worked your way out of it, it's easier to go back there? And I've said this many times on my channel. Gamblers have the highest tolerance for stress out of anybody else, especially if they are going over their budget on a consistent basis.
See, I guess it depends on the person. Anyone that's gambled with me can probably vouch that you wouldn't be able to tell if I was up or down because my
Okay.
personality is always the same. Maybe I just have become accustomed to losing because at the end of the day, you will lose if you play slots. And I'm happy either way. As long as I can play, it doesn't matter to me. I don't walk into casinos expecting to leave with what I walked in with. So I think once you lower your expectations, you're just a happier person. And I also don't gamble to, finance things or pay bills or whatnot. So there's no stress there.
So you're not a professional gambler that's worried about, hey, I got to make my nut this week in order to
Yeah,
do that.
no.
It makes it a huge difference. Top dollar Mike, Atlantic City slots and video poker. Easy. Can you pay me my marker Can you pay my marker at Bally's?
Absolutely. He has very good credit.
Okay, you're covered, top dollar Mike, for sure. Um, and let's see. Oh yeah, slot says as long as you don't have to turn in tickets at the parking lot for gambling
Oh,
money, it's okay.
he didn't say tickets, he said tricks.
Tricks. Well, yeah. Well, thank you. You figured out that I have a problem reading these chats pretty easily. Um, okay, so biggest loss 21 in Vegas. I'm going to touch on the Vegas thing real quick
Okay.
because you don't go to Vegas that much. Can you let everybody know why you don't go to Vegas that much?
I don't like to fly. I call it the tube of death.
Okay. You have a fear of flying.
Yeah.
But can you also tell everybody where you used to work?
I used to work for an airline when I was like 22 to 24. I worked for JetBlue. So, but I didn't work on an airplane. I worked in an office, in the corporate office. And yeah, it didn't help with the fear of flying, I'll tell you that.
Hey, Slots by Georgie, thank you for coming in. Loves to travel slots. Thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it. So you didn't have to travel, but you worked there at an airline, and I made the the out. Well, I don't even know what to say now. Excuse me. I made the assumption. Well, assumption is not the right word. I'm losing my words here. Anyway, it's sort of like if you know somebody that works in a restaurant that tells you not to eat at that restaurant because they know what's going on behind the scenes, similar to the fears that he has because he knows what's going on behind the scenes at an airline.
I have quite interesting stories about the planes and the people that fly them, and just knowing that just heightens the fear of flying. Not that I haven't flown since, and not that I will never fly again, but I choose, if I don't have to, I don't get on a plane.
It lowers your law of average of crashing or falling out of the sky.
I would rather someone bust through this hotel room door and put a gun to my head and hold me hostage and then get on an airplane.
Okay, there you go, guys. Hey, I wouldn't put that out there because somebody might actually take you up on that offer. But
I
anyway,
hope they have their way with me first.
so let's talk about your channel or channels. You started your first channel 5 years ago.
Hmm.
What made you start, of all things, a slot channel? Because the niche is very expensive.
It is. It is expensive. I used to watch slot videos, and I thought it was fun and interesting. And I was like, I could do what these people are doing. I could, upload a video to YouTube. I know how to use a computer. I could probably do it better than these people. And that's how I started. And back when I started, live streaming was like the new thing, and you used to go live from the casino, and you used to pick up like 500 subscribers. It was great. And your channel, every time you went live at the end of your live stream, 400 new subscribers, 500. If you had a great live stream, almost 1,000 new subscribers. Things are not the same anymore. That doesn't happen. But it was the channel grew so fast, and it was just on such a momentum. And then, like all things, what goes up must come down, and then it leveled out. And I'm not saying that I lost the luster of YouTube, but obviously when your channel's not performing as well, you kind of lose that motivation. And that's when I was like, I really need to take this more as a hobby and fun than like thinking like I'm going to do this every day, because it's not sustainable. It's way too much work, and I'm not looking for another job.
Okay, and we're going to get into that because we had a discussion earlier. You said you posted videos daily for a couple of months.
Hmm.
Tell everybody about that experience and what you gained and what you learned from that experience.
Um, it was torture. I don't work hard now in my daily life. Um, I can do things as I please. And when I started to upload videos every day, it became a job, and it became a job that was no longer fun. It was sitting at the computer for hours a day, 7 days a week, editing videos and uploading videos and answering comments and looking at your analytics and wondering why this video did bad and that one did good. And I was like, this is stressful, and it's not worth it. Yes, my channel did better. I was bringing in more subscribers and had more views. And like I told RhinoMan when we spoke earlier, if you broke down what I made in that month that I uploaded every day to the amount of hours that I spent working on my channel for that month, I would have been better off in a sweatshop making t-shirts if you broke it down to an hourly wage. And I was like, so I'm not doing this for the money, because it's not worth it. And I'm not having fun uploading a video every day. So I'm just going to do it as I please so I can enjoy it. And
Okay.
that's what I do now.
Okay. So as I'm going to translate what he just says, YouTubers, we're all making sweatshop wages. So enjoy the sweatshop wages. Uh, I want to get back to that. Uh, but there was a question I missed. It was from James Spitzer. He basically asked, "What channels do you watch or look at?"
I watch all the channels because of what I do. Um, I skim a lot of videos,
Okay.
and I skim a lot of live streams. So I would say I'm subscribed to probably everyone. Do I watch everything in its entirety? No. Um, do I watch people that I don't necessarily care for? Yes. But I might be watching them because I plan on doing a video on them in the future. But there are people, obviously, that I do enjoy watching, and there's several channels that I enjoy. But yeah,
Well,
that's
we'll get to those channels in a minute. J Real Slot says, if you were stranded on Rhino's Island and sent a message in the bottle, what would the message say?
a question for me.
Yes.
Um, Hold on, I have to read it again.
It's on the screen, I think.
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. VZ was stranded on Rhino's Island and sent a message in a bottle. What would the message say? Send Dr. Pepper and Newports.
Said Dr. Pepper and Newports. I think Filthy says he loves my channel. Um, that was Filthy's response to that. Cougars Rule 54 says, oh wow, that went by too quick. Maggie, get ready today. I'm coming to bust you out. I don't know what that means, but thanks for busting her out. Uh, Whatever that is. Hey, Blue Line Slots, thank you for coming in. Okay, so you started your first channel 5 years ago. Your second channel started 4 years ago, which is Easy After Dark. Now, I have a question about that. You already had one channel that was already going. Why didn't you just keep posting videos on videos on your same channel instead of separating them out? Was there some thought process to that?
Yeah, there was. I was putting other non-slot related content on Easy Life, and those videos were not performing well. And then they were hurting the slot content videos. And I did a lot of research and I watched a lot of videos and I spoke to quote unquote YouTube gurus, and they said that doing whatever your niche is, you need to stick with it. And you can't do two things on the same channel because you will tank it. So I created another channel where I can do all my fuckery that I want to do on Easy After Dark. If I want to drive in my car and shit on someone's grass, or if I want to play video poker. So there's the main channel, and then I consider Easy After Dark. SD Guy and I call our second channels the throwaway channel, meaning I don't care about it. It's there. I will use it when I want to use it, and that's it.
Okay. I like that, and I've visited some of the same channels that say, hey, you got to keep it within your niche. You got to make sure that you're focused on what you're doing and the content you're putting out so that you get the same audience draw and not on another channel. Question, do you have any kind of marketing background?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because, you know, I'll get into some of your, well, let me ask this question first. You started your slot channel, and then how did it develop into what you have now as far as the tea and everything
So
else?
originally, that was another reason for Easy After Dark. I was planning to do all the tea and the drama videos on Easy After Dark. I was going to keep them completely separate, and I took the risk of doing it on the main channel, and it performed very well. And then it didn't hurt the performance of the subsequent videos. So I said, you know what? I can make this work. For whatever reason, the people that watch slot videos are okay with the drama videos, and it doesn't hurt the main channel. So I stopped putting it on Easy After Dark, and I kept it on Easy Life.
Okay. That's good. Both of your channels are successful. In my opinion, both of your channels are successful. You have like over 33,000 on one or 32,000 on one. You have over 4,000, 5,000 on the other. Not exactly sure of the numbers, but I do know I do know that both channels are successful now. You've built them up over time. The question that I had about the marketing is, you know, especially with your tea videos, you do a good job of marketing that up. You put it on your community tab. You get feedback from your viewers. You get feedback from everybody else that's watching the videos that drive you build that anticipation. And that's sort of what I was trying to see if you had any background in doing that. Like I said at the top of the show, either they love you or they hate you, but both are watching.
That's for
You know,
sure.
so if you could speak to what your thought process was, one with the T videos, did you think about you know, I'm going to put this out there. Some people aren't going to like it, or some people are going to hate it, and some people are going to love it. Did you think that way, or?
100%. I knew going into it I was going to be public enemy number one because there was no one else speaking about the things that go on behind the scenes in the slot community. And I knew that when I spoke about people, I was going to be called jealous and a hater and all these things. And that's fine. Just like the question that you have pinned here from Scotty asking me, do I think that spilling tea is making me more credible? But it's not really necessarily about me. It's about the channels that I'm speaking about. And the viewer can make their own determination. If they think that I'm lying, then fact check me and prove that I'm lying. That has never happened to date. And until it does, I am a credible source. If people don't find me credible, that's okay too. If people don't like what I put out there, I'm okay with that too. But at the end of the day, it's my channel, and I could do what I want with my channel, just like you can do what you want with yours.
Okay. Perfect. That was an excellent explanation. The question that I asked at the beginning, one of the questions is the question number 3 at the beginning of the channel. When you started out on YouTube, did you have insecurities? Did you have thin skin, so to speak?
No.
When you started out? No.
I grew up in an Italian household where you were called a fat fuck for going up to get more food. So no, I never had a thin skin. There's nothing that anyone has ever said to me on YouTube that has upset me or offended me. And I'm still waiting for that day.
Okay. There's a question. Let's see. That's because people don't realize that easy comes correct. Okay, that's one question. Then Filthy has a question for you. Is there any big slot channels that you haven't spilled tea on yet and will come out soon? Or when will those come?
I guess to wait and see.
Okay, that's good. Again, anticipation. Let's see. Aaron Lee said. Aaron Lee says, "Easy speaks very well. He would probably win many debates in the slot community."
I would love a debate. I've always said, I know he would never come on my channel, but one of my, I guess you could call it goal, would just be to have no screaming, no yelling, no cursing, just an hour-long talk with Brian Christopher, where I ask him questions and he answers them.
Well, could he then rebut your questions and ask you questions?
Of course.
Hey, look, guys, I'm going to tell you something right now. Doing research to have Easy on the show, I had to go through his channel, and there's a series on his channel that I absolutely love. And if you haven't checked it out, there's a couple of episodes out there. It's called the Slotty Awards. Hilarious. Watch the videos. They're very funny. You did a great job with that. And I will probably steal some sort of format of that from you at one point or another. Hope you don't mind, but I'll talk about that later. But you did that, and it sounds like there's another idea in the making. Slot debate videos would fit well within your channel if you could get the channels to come on and debate with you.
So I had King Jason on my channel. He was like one of the first people that came on my channel that I essentially interviewed, and it was something he wanted to do. He reached out to me and he said that he wanted to tell his side of the story. And I said, okay, I'm going to ask you questions and you'll answer them. And that's what we did.
Okay. That's good. Have you thought about having more channels on your show?
I've thought about it, but it has to also interest me and it has to make sense. And nothing has really come along yet that, has made sense.
Okay. That's all good. So when you started spilling the tea videos, how did that progress for you? Obviously, you had thick skin well after that, and I've seen some of the comments on some of the videos that you've done, and I also seen some of the rebuttal videos to some of the stuff that you've done. How does that affect you, or does it even affect you?
It doesn't affect me. I leave, unless they're really bad, I leave most mean comments up that are towards me. I don't have a problem with them because ultimately, which I find even more entertaining, is that when people come for me, my subscribers will then come for those people that left those comments. And that's where the tea is. If anyone has gone to the comment sections on these tea videos after a week or two, there's tea in the comment section, and that kind of answers your question. That's kind of how it started, where I did one video and then I knew more stuff, or people come forward, and now it's like I people come to me and that they send me receipts, or they have a story that they want to tell me. Someone that was snubbed by Brian Christopher, at his Rudy's event, or I have so many people that follow me now that used to be some of Brian Christopher's most loyal. One of his ex moderators is one of my patrons,
Okay.
and we're going on a cruise together next month. And I think that speaks volumes, um, for my character and also someone else's character. Just how they treat people. But that's I don't want to
Okay.
get
That
into.
that's fine. So let's talk about, for myself, I have channels that, I consider, I started my channel, last year. I've grown with the channel, but I've also met some people in the community that I reach out to for guidance and just to throw ideas off of. Do you have anybody in the slot community that you brainstorm with or bounce ideas off of, or just call to talk to, or chat with?
Sure. I mean, I will. I definitely, like you said, on my community wall, I'll always put something out there. I might ask a question, or for some feedback from the subscribers. Also, the people on my Patreon, I also speak with them daily, and we'll go back and forth. But also, I speak to SD Guy often. We call them tea sessions, where we'll talk on the phone a couple of hours, and he'll bounce ideas off of me, and I will bounce ideas off of him, and I'll tell him, I think I'm going to do this. What do you think? And him and I have this understanding, because we're both very similar. I will tell him what he needs to hear, not what he wants to hear, and he will do the same thing. So if I say, I want to do this, he'll say, no, it's not a good idea. Don't say that. Don't do this. And that's how our friendship is.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'm going to ask you more about him in a minute, but I got a couple of super chats and things. First, NES Slot says, I'll do a pay-per-view for Sarah and Victor to be on. Um, that's pretty cool. Scotty H Town, ditto what NES said. And Slots Event says, thanks for the show, Rhino Man, the 4.99 super chat. Really appreciate it, guys. Wannabe Slot Channel Steve comes in with the 1.99 super sticker. Thank you for that, Wannabe Slot Channel Steve. Really appreciate that. So, SD Guy, have you
Yes.
ever met him in person?
We have not. We have not met.
Okay, you have done a couple of um,
Like
talk
StreamYard,
sessions with them,
StreamYard
street
things like this. Yeah. And we also did, maybe 2 years ago, we did a live stream slot battle back when he was doing that. But besides that, no, we've never met him in person. It might be better that way. The two of us together, God only knows what would happen.
You're telling me that would be hilarious, to say the least. Having both of you guys on camera at the same time in the same casino, security probably wouldn't be too happy. I'm sure. I'm sure. So that's it. Are there any channels that in the slot community? I'm not talking about other channels that you watch outside the slot community. Any channels in the slot community that you actually either admire or say, hey, they're doing a good job? Doesn't matter how big or small or anything.
There's definitely a lot of channels that I would say are doing a good job. And they, there's definitely a lot of channels that are doing a good job. But like I told you earlier, as far as something that I'm just in awe of is SD Guy running that large channel that he has, uploading a video every single day by himself with no help, no staff, and him being technically inclined as he is. It's really nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah, definitely, because for as big a channel as he is, to be doing all of that by himself, as well as responding to comments and loading videos, it's a job. And
Right.
I've never met the guy, so I don't know if that's his full-time gig. If it is, hey, more power to him. But he does an excellent job, and I know a lot of people in the chat could agree with this. The work that it takes to edit videos and to put, the little synopsis in there at the beginning and end of your videos, telling you, hey, I'm starting out with $500. I'm going to play this. And then you show us a clip of this and this and this. That takes a ton of work. So, um, true story.
The
Hats off.
just to go back to the Slotty Awards, that's another reason why I've only done 2 of them. The amount of time, effort that goes into finding the footage and editing the footage, and then recording the video and then editing the video. Those 2 Slotty Awards took me weeks, maybe over a month to put together. And it just goes back to me not wanting a job. And that's what it is. Even, the T videos, sometimes I get lazy. I did a bunch in December and I did a bunch in April. I might not do any in May.
Okay.
Maybe I will. It depends on if I, feel like sitting at the computer for 12 hours to put something together.
But okay, so what I'm hearing right there is you do have tea. You just haven't took the time to put it together.
Oh, honey, there's always tea. There's always tea to be spilt in the slot community. I have it backed up on a 50 gigabyte thumb drive that's pretty much full. So yes, there's always tea to be spilt. Things that are years old and things that are recent. I always keep things, and you never know when it will see light.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump ahead to a couple of questions that I have later on down the road, since we're talking about tea. Have you ever regretted anything that you've said on your YouTube channel?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Just checking. I know sometimes I say some things out there that I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but oh well, it's out there. Okay, so Slotty Awards. Slotty Awards, the second annual Slotty Awards. You haven't done a third annual yet.
I have
right?
not done a third one yet. No.
The second annual award, I think you had the slot channel supporter of the thing that was awarded to VicT Slots. And
Yes.
when you talk about the work that went in to just put that particular segment together, hey, VicT, if you're watching, love you, bro. But you are the supporter of all the channels. That must have taken you a while.
It was probably a week's worth of work just for that little 30-second clip.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But on the flip side of it, that segment killed. And you could just see the chat's reaction, and that makes it worth it to me. Even though all that time went into it, it was worth it. Okay. That Amazon Alexa commercial at the end of the video that I made with SD Guy, that probably took another week to put together. But again, people loved it, and that's what makes it worth it to me, that people laugh, because that's what I feel like I'm here to do, is make people laugh and escape the problems that they have in their lives. So that makes me happy.
That is cool. So you're on YouTube. Do you consider yourself an actor?
No.
No. Okay. just thought I'd throw that out there. Ask if you ever thought of yourself as an actor because you are on YouTube.
There's
And
only one person in the slot community that thinks they're an actor.
okay, yes, I know who you're talking about, but you could say it if you want.
No,
Um, uh,
people.
if you had to give any advice to a channel that's just starting out, what would that be?
I used to say don't do it, because YouTube will pull you in and then lift you up and then drop you down and spit you out. I think that if you were to start a channel, just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You're not going to be able to pay your bills from YouTube. Don't even think that that's going to happen. So make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure that you're passionate about slots and playing them, or whatever you're doing. If you want to make a makeup channel, just be passionate about it, but just have your expectations in check, because unless you're in the top 5% elite of that community that you're in, you're not going to be paying your electric bill with YouTube funds.
Now, when you say check your expectations, when everybody starts out, and I wanted to ask you this question: when you first started out, what were those expectations? When you dropped that first video, were you sub watching? Were you saying, "Hey, everybody's gonna love this video. They got to check it out"?
I didn't have expectations when I first started, but when my channel took off, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to become this huge YouTube sensation, and I'm going to need, I swear, and I'm going to need bodyguards. And like I told you, my channel was going up like this, and then it plateaued and it went down, and I came back down to earth. And that's when I realized, like, okay, this is just for fun. Calm down. So that's why I say to people, it could definitely reel you in, but it will eventually spit you out. And I think anyone that has a channel, big or small, will agree that they have their highs and lows of their channel, that their channel is doing really good and really bad. So yeah, just that's what I say what I mean when I say have your expectations in check.
Okay, so let's ask. I'm going to ask you this right now. You have been through those beginning stages. You went through the discouragement of at the drop off. It's not going to
Mhm.
happen. This and that. Your channel's still in a good position. You're still producing content. You're not working every day to produce all of that content. What is your realistic projection for your channel or channels?
I don't have one anymore. I have no expectations. I have no goals whatsoever. I do this for fun, and that, for me, that's what works out the best. So I'm never let down. I always told, as SD guy, and I always have I'll give you an example. We always have this argument where he says, perfect example, you need to do a third Slotty Awards. And my answer to him is that I spend so much time on them and blood, sweat, and tears, and they don't perform very well at all. If you look at the views on those videos, they're okay. Look at the views compared to the T videos that I spend a tenth of the time on. They do 10 times better. So it's very discouraging to put all that time and work into something that you are excited to put out, and then it performs poorly.
Okay.
So that's why I try not to have expectations anymore, so I'm not let down when something doesn't do well.
Well, I'm with SD guy. I want a third awards show. So
A lot of people do. I get asked about it all the time, and that's the honest answer. I'm not saying that I'll never do one again, but I'm definitely not in a rush to do one right now.
okay, that's a fair response there, but it is popular by all means, and that the question that I have with that, when you started doing those award shows, did that sort of spill into tea, or did tea come before
It
that?
it kind of did. It kind of did, yes, for sure. Because the categories, some were fun and quirky, and then some were a little bit on the shadier side. So that definitely, probably propelled it a little bit. Um, but that's not where the tea originated from. The tea originated from me just being fed up of many fake people in the slot community that would smile to your face and then
Okay.
stab you in the back, or even, as a subscriber, they're the creator and you're the subscriber, and they smile to your face, and then when you walk away they're like, oh god, I didn't want to talk to that person. So
Okay.
things like that really annoyed me. Where I come from in New York, where real people, I'm a real person, and I don't play like that. And I was just fed up with the fakeness. And I was like, these people, they just go around talking shit about each other, and they all hate each other. And I'm like, I'm going to call them out on their bullshit. And that's really where it started.
Okay. And Jessica H says she's waiting for another Ladies Night Live.
That's another highly requested video as well.
Yeah, I did get a look at that one as well. So you have had, and you probably still have a lot of ideas out there for your channel. And the way that you've positioned yourself, you've kept it within the niche, but you're also doing the tea videos and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Was that was obviously intentional to a point, but is there other ideas that you care to share right now with what you have coming in the future? Do you have something else besides tea, or are you just going to stick to videos?
There's definitely things that I plan on doing that will branch off of that, but nothing that I want to discuss right now.
Okay.
But you definitely need to always keep evolving on YouTube, and you can't become stale, because that's when you become boring and irrelevant.
Exactly.
And yeah, so there's always something. I like SD Guy says that the Slotty Awards became my staple, and I need to do them because it's my brand and people love it. And I understand where he's coming from, and I do agree with him. But I have some other ideas down the pipeline.
So I have a question for you. They say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. There are a lot of channels out there that are imitating what you do with the T channel and everything else. How do you feel about that?
Just like any community, there's definitely room for everyone. Um, some people do it better than others, and it I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it as long as people are not copying me or repackaging my content into their own. I'm okay with them, doing something similar. I learned a lot about spilling tea from the beauty community. There are a lot of people in the beauty community that have very, very successful channels spilling tea. And
Okay.
they all coexist, spilling the same drama that comes out in the slot community, in the beauty community.
Okay. Now, and I'm going to ask you this question because there's a lot of different communities out there, and they are a lot of cutthroat. I mean, they are really cutthroat. They don't want you simulating them in any way, shape, or form. But with the niche that we're in, the slot niche, you're filming, you're putting your camera on a slot machine and you're filming it. There's only so many different ways you could do that. You have to add your own twist to it. However, I found that the slot community is embracing. Now, not all channels are. There are some channels that don't want anything to do with other channels. However, that's where your tea comes in good. But how do you feel about the slot community in general?
I think that there's really good people, and I think that there's really bad people. And I think that there's people that pretend to be good and they're not. I mean, that's the short answer without, really getting into it. And I don't want to come here and
Yeah,
and
no,
and talk about people, because I'll do that on my own channel if I want to. But yeah, that's how I feel about the slot community as a whole. That pretty much sums it up. There's good people and there's bad people, and then there's people that pretend to be good.
okay. TG Lip 24 says, I hope EG does a video on RhinoMan next.
Well, I will tell you, if it will make you feel any better, you do not currently have a folder in my vault. So,
Hey, thank you for that. One, I'm nowhere close to the subscriber count that you need in order to.
that was always a joke, by the way. People,
I,
I made that 5,000. Someone told me that a while ago, like, oh, you don't, spill tea on people unless they have 5,000 subs, and I thought it was hilarious. So now I just run with it. It's just a joke. Obviously, there's been channels that I've spoken about that have less than 5,000 subscribers. So yeah,
that's quite all right. Just keep me out of your folder. I'll be fine without it, unless it's for the Slotty Awards Part 3. Then I'm open to come on camera with you at any time.
okay.
Okay, so question for you. I'm going to get into some rapid fire questions. I know you're itching to get downstairs and you're itching to get downstairs and get some gambling doing. Right now, you're currently where?
I'm in Atlantic City.
Okay. Question for you. In the past 8 months, how many weekends have you been to the casino?
Probably every weekend. Maybe not 8 months, but since October, I've been in the casino every weekend since the beginning of October.
And then in NES with the $4.99 super chat wants to know, do you have a folder on either one of my channels?
I just said I wasn't going to discuss other channels here.
Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, NES. Really appreciate that. Okay, so you've been at the casino a shit ton. What's the average budget? I mean, I know it changes every time, but what's an average budget trip for you?
It varies.
Let's say this trip. What did you bring with you for this trip?
I think that's a personal question.
Okay, I won't get into that. We'll
I don't know. That's one thing. Speaking about dollars, I just think is a personal question, and
Okay.
I don't want to say what I walk around in the casino with publicly.
Cool. I get it. Okay, so now we were talking about your Slotty Awards. If you had to give a Slotty Award today for the best high limit channel out there, which would it be? And not fake high limit channel, real high limit channel.
I have to be honest, without shading anybody, I don't know if I would even have that category because I don't see a winner in that category. I don't think any of the current high limit channels are that great. I think they're all the same. They're just different voices. They all play the same machines. There's no excitement there. Just because someone has a lot of money doesn't make them interesting to me. But that's me. That's my opinion.
No, that is a good question, and NDS says I'll take that answer as a yes for him. And then Real Twinning Slots is coming in with the $5 super chat that says, "Is anyone in the chat who will be in a future video?" I think he said he wasn't going to talk about other channels right now, so we won't answer that. However, if you did catch part of the interview earlier, he did say that he just hasn't put anything together. So I'm sure he has the vaults full of tea. He just hasn't put it together to put on video yet. So there will be some stuff coming out, I'm sure. Okay, if you had to fly anywhere in the world, but you have to fly to one destination, where would it be?
Bora Bora.
Bora Bora, and why?
It's just on my bucket list of places that I want to go to.
Okay.
I wish it wasn't a 22-hour flight. But that's my dream, to stay on one of those over the water huts, and have a pina colada and then frolic on the beach.
Hey, that sounds like paradise to me. I'm on the beach right now,
Yeah,
so
it looks like Bora Bora.
it's all good. So you said high limit channels. You don't see anyone that stands out there. There are a lot of new channels that I have found that are trying to delve into the niche because actually, when I started, high limit was $5 a bet, $10 a bet, not these $100 spins.
I, I,
Um,
I, I've, I've said this before. I understand that people and that viewers in the slot community like to watch high limit play, whether they could afford to bet that high or can't they enjoy to watch it, and that is fine. But me personally, I watch YouTube slot videos to have a good time and to laugh. I find, I'm not going to name names, but there are channels that bet 50 cents a spin that I find more entertaining, even though I don't care that they're winning $20, because to me, what's $20? But I find them more entertaining to watch than people that are betting $250 a spin, because I'm having a better time watching them laugh and make jokes and be exciting and all that stuff than, people screaming like Gamblers Unknown, that they bet $250 and they locked up the machine for a $2,500 hand pay. That's not exciting.
yeah, yeah, it's absolutely correct. And for anybody that's thinking about developing a channel, same thing that's always been said by a lot of the guests and everybody that's on the show is bring your personality because that's what's going to shine through on your videos.
And
Talk about,
money cannot buy personality.
hey, that's so true. Okay, so I'm going to hit you with a couple of fast questions. I know you're itching to get downstairs, so we're going to let you do that. Aristocrat or Scientific Games?
Aristocrat.
Okay, Konami or Ainsworth?
Ainsworth.
Huff and Puff or Piggy Banking?
Piggy banking.
Okay, Golden Century or Autumn Moon?
I don't care either one. They're the same.
Genghis Khan, Peace and Long Life? You're not really into the Dragon Links.
No, a link game to me is a link game. They all play the same way. The bonuses are the same. The title doesn't really make a difference to me.
Okay, Dragon Link, Dollar Storm, same thing again.
Dollar Storm I prefer a little bit better because there's the advantage with the Super Grand.
Okay. Three real games or Keno, and I know the answer to this.
3 real games.
Okay. Poker or blackjack?
Poker.
Okay. Do you play card games at all?
I do. I've gotten into video poker a lot lately, but as far as table games, I don't like blackjack. I know how to play it. It's just boring to me to win 1x every time. So I like the games with a little bit more volatility, like Let It Ride, 3-card poker.
Okay.
There's a new game here. I don't know if it's new, but it's called Crisscross that I've gotten into. So yeah, I do like table games, but slots will always be my favorite.
Okay. Fantastic. Hey, Easy, thank you so much for spending your day with us or spending this hour with us. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on the channel. And I wanted to ask you this as a parting question. Why did you decide to come on the show?
You asked me to come on, and I just, I've been a small channel before that was helped out by larger channels to help my channel grow a little bit. So I just felt like it was a nice thing to do to pay it forward. I know everyone thinks that I'm the Cruella de Vil of the slot community, but I'm really not as much as an asshole as people think that I am. So I was like, let me do my good deed for the day, and then maybe when I go downstairs to the casino, I'll have some good karma.
Hey, I really hope that you are going to win. I do appreciate it, but you do need your Dalmatian jacket if you're going to go down to the.
Yes, of course. You know it.
uh, I appreciate it. Hey guys, thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. If you did, please hit that like button on your way out. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up. And if this is your first time here, please, I hope you subscribe. If not, go over to Easy's channel. Check out the Slotty Awards because they're hilarious. You won't be disappointed. Again, guys, until next time, let the good times roll.